60 to 10.
Yeah, but on game day, I'll be like, we're gonna murder
They're
them.
eating the dogs.
Yeah, it's over. They're eating the dog. They're eating the dogs. All right, it is more steam. We're back again. It's Georgia Week.
Georgia Week.
As always, Will Watkins.
I'm Thomas Wharton. The whole season comes down to this.
Season's
the
on the
whole
line.
season comes down to this. We're right where we want to be. Obviously, we wish that was 8-0, but or
Not right where we want to be, but like,
but hey, everything
we
is
control
in
our
front of
destiny.
us. Before we get into the analysis,
Yep.
into breaking down, recapping Mississippi State, breaking down Georgia, I do want to address the obvious. If you're watching this on our premiere,
Yep.
you're watching this on Wednesday.
It's crazy.
We don't normally
What are we
post on
doing?
Wednesday. We normally film on Wednesday.
Yeah, this is
But
weird.
We heard from the critics.
Yep.
We heard from the fans. Y'all want more and more steam. Y'all
Steamers want more steam.
Okay, so we are bringing this to you on Wednesday for at least the rest of the season. I hope the foreseeable future.
We'll see.
So if you're watching on Wednesday, awesome. Keep this in mind for tomorrow. If you're watching on Thursday, this is happening now. Every order you place at the Vol Club store online or here at Vol Club Outfitters enters you into a chance to win 2 VIP tickets for our next and final home game against UTEP.
The UTEP Miners.
UTEP Miners. It's a 1 p.m. kick, but we'll get started at 9 a.m. sharp.
Whew.
Don't hold me on that. There will be more information
Check your emails.
next week. Check your emails. Enter to win. Come visit us. Come buy some of our awesome Vol merch. Enter to win. I hope to see you at the VIP section of the Vol Club tailgate.
It's the best tailgate in town.
Easily.
It's easily the best
And
tailgate.
I'm not biased at all.
I mean, I am. But I know a thing about tailgating.
Yeah.
And it's the best
Yeah,
one
we do.
out
And
there.
we don't lose those.
We never lost a
Don't lose
tailgate.
those.
Never lost a tailgate.
No.
Speaking of not losing, didn't lose this week.
No, we did not. Although
Taking care of
I
business.
did not, if you watched the show last week, there was not really any thought in our minds.
No.
You had no steam.
I had no steam.
We were
no steam for
we
him.
had to put on steam ahead of the game. We had no steam. It was pretty lackadaisical. Throw your leg up, whatever. We're just going to roll in, win. The question is by how much? Somehow, in typical Tennessee Vol fashion, we made it close.
Sort of, but like at the same time, at no point in that game was ever like, oof, we might lose this one.
Yeah.
It was just like, we're not that crisp, we're not that clean, but like, we're still going to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it was a little off, execution, some stuff there, and then injuries and like that. It wasn't
Scares.
It wasn't big enough blowout at halftime that I was just like, no problems from here on out. But I never doubted Gaston. Gaston's a dude.
Come on.
He came in, he did his
Mr.
job.
Throw it up.
We love it. I
Yep.
mean, I'm here for it. Just chunk it downfield, see what happens.
See what happens.
I love it.
I've never done this before.
Okay.
I'm not going to make a habit of it, but going into halftime, I was like, okay, it's late. I'm a little tired. We come out and score a few touchdowns. I might go home early. I might watch the fourth quarter on my couch, which is a great idea, except for the fact when Gaston rolls out, second half, takes that first snap, I was like, I'm going to have to stay for this whole game.
I got to watch all of this.
I got to watch all of this.
Yep.
I can't leave when it's like still in the balance. And granted, we won by 19. Wasn't ever crazy close.
No, but yeah.
They were moving the ball more than I kind of anticipated them moving the ball. But hey, just win, baby.
Just win. That's all that matters. Somebody asked me earlier this week, I guess late last week, because we're filming on Monday. This is very bizarre. I'm not used to this.
Bear with us.
Late last week, and they were asking, are you concerned? I'm like, I'm always concerned. But like, if you just figure out ways to win, even if they're ugly, guess what?
Still win.
Still won.
Still win.
That's all that matters moving forward. Like, if you can just figure out ways to win, the rest of your games you play, you'll win a national championship.
Yep.
So you just keep finding ways to win, we'll be okay. Like,
Sources say if you win them all,
as long as you don't lose, that's a good thing.
Exactly. And there's never a time that winning has mattered most than right now with the absolute log jam at the top of our conference.
I'm here for the chaos. I love it. I would prefer if it didn't happen this year, just so we'd be in a little better position and more obviously in. I always think the playoff committee wants to come after us.
It seems so.
I'm just waiting for them to ruin this for us and like, oh, you guys won? Awesome. Well, this team lost. We're going to jump them over you because metrics or whatever.
Right.
You guys struggled a little bit. And it's like, well, they lost. Why did you put them above us?
Exactly.
Like Indiana, they're going to, continue to throw up there. And it's like, they're like, well, they beat Michigan. Michigan's terrible. They're 5-5. They're awful. It's not a good win.
No.
Like, we won. Like, give us our credit for winning.
I hate the term quality loss. I hate it. It
That's
makes
the
no
thing.
sense. But we talk about 2022 all the time, for a lot of times for good reason. This is a bad reason I'm going to throw out. If you look at the final AP college football standings, whatever you want to say, the Vols finished at 6th. This was pre-bowl game.
Yep.
The Vols finished at 6th, got to the Orange Bowl, whooped up on Clemson.
Love it.
Great memory. We're like, we're back. Heupel kind of established himself. He's like, I'm here to stay. You know who was number 5?
Who?
Bama, with 2 losses.
2022. Oh, yeah, we beat them.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yep.
Somewhat noticeably. The whole country saw us throw our goalposts in the river. And they finished 10-2, as did we. But because of quality losses and we kind of got our butt kicked against South Carolina.
Well, they cheated. They had the signals.
Final score was what it was. They finish ahead of us. And it doesn't matter because 5 versus 6 in 2022 means Sugar Bowl versus Orange Bowl. And I was happy to go to Miami. Now
it matters.
It matters. And if you're going to tell me that it's like, oh, well, Indiana, they lost to Ohio State. Maybe they did this. Or Bama even. Well, Arkansas's a bad loss, but we don't care about Vanderbilt. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Okay? I'm a logically thinking person, as I would hope the people who vote for the college football playoff, a sport watched by millions, would be too. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm dumb. I'll give them that argument. Maybe I'm not a smart human being, but my mom would say I am.
And your moms know best. Shout out moms. Thank you. We love our moms. Let's dive into the game.
Yep.
Talk a little bit of the game. Go through our predictions. So, we'll start Nico.
Yep.
Obviously, as we sit here on Monday, no official word has come out if he's going to be playing. I think we love these lights that are motion activated.
It's all right. We're going to keep rolling.
Producer Don's going to do some jumping jacks in the back, and we'll power through it. So, he was doing jumping jacks. This is hilarious. What you guys can see. No official word. My sources, shout out sources, think he's going to be back. Hopefully by Wednesday when this comes out, we'll have some actual clarity there. But I think he should be back for the game, which is good. But if not, Gaston time, baby. Throw it up. Let's go. I love it. The gunslinger.
And as much as I'd want to see that, rest up, Nico, please.
Yeah, please. We would prefer Nico to play. But shout out Gaston, as always.
Yes.
I had Nico predicted at 340 yards and 2 touchdowns. You had him at 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Finished the game at 174 and 2 touchdowns in 1 half.
1 half.
So I'm going to call that a win.
I'll take it.
So
probably, he looked sharp.
Yeah.
The deep ball to Dante was awesome. The deep ball to Squirrel was awesome. Those are the kind of plays. Listen, we're not an we've shown to be an offense, surprisingly this year, that can run it and put together a 10, a 15 play drive and punch it in at 1st and goal. That wasn't how we've always been.
The Heupel offense we know and love is
exactly. It's fast to the side 1 yard, run up the middle 5 yards, over the top for 65. We saw a little glimpse. We've talked about glimpses and flashes of his talent and really just the offense's talent all year. It's cool to see that.
Oh, I loved
good first half. So we'll take that as a win. Dylan Sampson, what was your prediction for him?
I had him at 110 yards and 3 touchdowns. You had him at 160 and 2 touchdowns. And as always, you kind of split us. You were closer, though. You'll get the win there. He had 149 and 1 touchdown.
Career high.
I need him to stop fumbling.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for this one. I don't even know, you can't coach against this one because, he did everything right technique-wise. He's going through. He goes put 2 arms. Everything was right. It just was a great play.
Yep.
Fumbles happen. We got lucky that he had gone so long without fumbling. Now everybody's he's still got a case of the fumbles. It's just, I don't know. Statistically, it's going to happen. He did everything right. It just still happened. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
That'll be, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, big-time players, big-time games. Got to make big-time plays. I trust he's going to make those plays, but 100%. It's drive killers, man.
It is, and it's becoming a habit. But again, I think it's just a statistical anomaly. He went so long without fumbling, and now he's fumbled a few times, just kind of getting back to course correct there. But I'm not worried about doing it anyway. So finished with 149, 1 touchdown. Give you the win there.
Thank you.
I thought he'd score more. It's fine.
It's all right. 20 touchdowns.
Yeah, we love it. We love to see it. That was the best that we had.
That's it.
In the predictions.
It's real.
It goes real downhill from here.
Real downhill.
I had Kitts at 65 yards and a touchdown. Finished with 8 yards, which I was like, that's really bad on my job. And then I looked at yours, and you had Nimrod at 82 yards and a touchdown. He had no catches, 0 yards. So
he might have been a healthy scratch. I love Chaz to death. He's a tough dude, so I don't know.
We'll see. He'll get back out there at some point. Josh Josephs, you had him at 4 tackles and 2 sacks. zeros across the board.
I had to check to make sure he actually played. He did. He actually registered 2 hurries.
There you go. Hey, it's important.
You know,
he does it like we talked about last week. He does his job. Like he didn't have to get in the stat sheet. He's just out there doing his job.
His job literally did not show up on the stat sheet. That's fine. It's whatever.
I had McCoy at an interception and a punt return touchdown. He did have 7 tackles. So there's that.
Pace the team.
He wasn't the punt returner.
No.
So we got to see Boo Carter. So I was excited. But like, I predicted a punt return touchdown and the guy didn't return punts. That's a tough look for me. Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
But Boo Carter returning punts, electric.
Hey, he's one of those guys like, hey, fight fire with fire. Like,
I'm here for it.
He's either, I didn't like in the beginning of the season when he would just point. Like he wouldn't even run for it, he'd just point, and then it bounces like 15 yards that way. That's like that's a recipe for disaster. Thankfully, we didn't, get bit by that one. He's electric, man. He's the most athletic guy you got. I mean, we've tried Squirrel, we've tried Jermod. That little duo did a work on Bob Kessling. He has no idea. When you see 3, you're like, one of them. Which I mean, it's far away. And
how blessed is hard. You got Cam Seldon returning kicks at 23, and Boo Carter returning punts at 23, and it's just gonna be like. One of them's out there. I'll just throw it out there.
I can't even tell. I mean, you know who Boo kind of looks like in terms of just athleticism?
Who?
Well, VFL Eric Berry.
Buddy.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
that's high praise.
It's high praise.
High praise.
But Eric, I mean, he's got the record.
I'm just going to be very clear. I am not co-signing that at this point.
No.
Not co-signing. But I like the take. You're the optimist today. I'm here for it.
Eric Berry's got the record for interception return yards, and because when you put the ball in his hands,
he's an electric factor.
And I don't. Who was coaching it? Was it Dooley or was that still?
No, back then it would have been Fulmer and Kiffin. I believe
it was.
Yeah,
it was that time. I don't know if they let him return punts, if he was just too good for that. But I mean, the fact that we're getting ball in Boo Carter's hands, he was a guy you brought on, and people were talking about him playing offense at one point. I mean, I'm all about it.
We have a quarterback that has said he'd like to see Boo get some touches on offense. Well, this is as close as he might get because I like to see Boo with the ball in his hands. We talked about it on the show before. He's an electric factory, as I've said 6 times on the show already. But the guy is so much fun to watch. When he catches the ball, and I remember watching in high school, his film and everything, he catches the ball and you're like, what's he going to do?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to make guys miss. Everything is out there. Mm-hmm. He may fumble. We don't know. He's an electric. He's going to do something. Something is going to happen. You've got to keep your eyes on him when he's out there. So I loved watching him. The interception was a great play.
Oh, my God.
Disappointed we couldn't cash in on it. But, the guys making plays, it was the Boo Carter game. I texted you during the game. Boo Carter.
Yeah.
Some other words in there. But Boo Carter. I was super excited to see him. He's a guy that we've both loved on the show. If all the Steamers know how we feel about him. Him having kind of his coming out party was fun to see. Yeah. And so now he's hitting it at the right stride, right? Like you've got key games coming up for your season. Let's let Boo Carter cook. I'm here for it.
That's what I'm saying. So, we knew coming in, it's hard to play as a true freshman. Doesn't matter what position you play. We knew it was going to take a little, kind of that learning curve, getting him going. I'm glad to see him. I'm glad to see him play the majority of the snaps. No offense to my man, Christian Harrison. He does a great job too when he's in there. But Boo's
an undeniable talent. Offense, let's talk about that a little bit. So we talked about Nico being hurt. Obviously we expect him to be back this week, or we're hoping. Gaston comes in, plays really well. I thought, interesting. If I got multiple texts, we should run this offense with Nico. I don't think the offense changes. I think Gaston just looks to go deep before he does anything else. My man just catches the ball. He's like, all right, there's somebody's out there. Yep. Let's just see what happens. This is your time to shine. If I'm him, I loved it. You're not the number one guy here, and probably never will be, unfortunately for him, because I like him. This is your moment. This is your time to shine.
Come on.
Why not?
Bring it on.
You dump it down 3 times and we don't get a first down. Everybody is mad. So just throw it deep and see what happens. And it actually works out well because I think they saw him come in, starting to creep up a little bit. They're like, he's not Nico. We need to come up in. They're going to run the ball. Well, now you can stretch the defense, and now you can start to run a little bit, which we did go very run heavy in the second half.
Exactly.
But his continued preference to throw it deep and keep them honest, I think allowed us to have the offensive plan that we did in the second.
And that's the point that I was going to make is yes, it makes sense. Like you see the backup come in, okay, you can just assume run the ball.
Yep.
If you're thinking it was 50-50 before from a defensive perspective, now it's probably 80-20.
Yep, 100%.
So the box is going to crowd. And it doesn't matter if we have prime Chris Johnson as our tailback. We might. I mean, Dylan Samson. Are you going to, could you sign off on that
I'll
one?
sign off on that one all day.
You're not going to get yards, man. Like when you're just outnumbered in the box, like consistently, it's going to be hard to get yards. So what that does opens up some of the matchups on the outside,
100%.
and Gaston's going to throw it. I texted you about this too. Like when you have a guy running downfield on a go route or, a deep crosser and they're hip to hip, you're taught as a quarterback, at least from a young age, of like, give him a chance.
Yep.
Give him a chance. Make it a ball that only your guy can catch. And what happens with that, sometimes it gets caught. Sometimes it gets overthrown. But sometimes if it's underthrown and you have a receiver that's pretty good, which we do, get those PI calls.
Love it.
And PI might as well be a completion in my book, especially when you're playing with your backup quarterback and you're just trying to move the sticks.
I was here for it. I love it. I might see if I can get Cade to print up some like Gunslinger Gaston shirts just because man, I just out there throwing. I love it.
Yeah.
Like every time snap the ball and just launch, I was like, oh, all right, well, pass interference. Completion.
We will take it.
All day. I'll take it.
Move the chains.
Let's keep it going. First down. So Dylan got banged up a little bit and came back in. So I think we all think he's fine. Peyton Lewis had some good plays in the game. He's still running, and Cam Sutton's the same way. Like they're running very straight. Like not really trying to find and make holes. They're just like, this is my carry. I'm going to take it. Here's the hole. Run. Like I'd like to see them start to do a little bit more, get a little bit more feel, but they're both still young, especially as far as games played and snaps. I think as they get more, they'll develop a little bit more feel for it. I mean, and they've got the best in the business to learn from because Dylan is better than anybody at that. But I'd like to see them, especially this week against Georgia, not just take that ball and run straight forward, but, take a hole, maybe make a cut, try to get a couple more. But overall, the running back position was fine. As long as Dylan's healthy, we're good there.
100%. And that both of them, even Deshaun too, they're good in their roles.
Yeah,
they're
100%.
good, complementary backs. They can go I love seeing Peyton Lewis make plays on special teams. I'm not sure Cam Seldon's situation, if he's healthy or not, but I love seeing him get in there, return kicks and all that too. So just do your thing, man. Y'all are at Tennessee for a reason. Y'all were 4 stars out of high school for a reason. Like go play. Go do your thing, man.
Offensive line I thought was pretty good this week overall.
We're on the up.
Yeah, it's like we're getting better every week, baby steps and getting there. I got to talk about the penalty that I've never seen called. I've never seen anybody get called for pulling someone.
Yeah,
didn't know that was a penalty. Learned something new. It's a dumb penalty. If you can push guys in a pile, you should be able to pull them. That's just equal reaction. That's the same thing. But overall, offensive line play was good. Wide receivers I thought were great. I need Squirrel to stop diving when he doesn't have to. But other than that, he caught the touchdown. I'll take it. Welcome to the season, Squirrel. Good to see you get in the end zone.
Let's go.
Dante, as always, we talk about it every week.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to predict him. I'd love to. He's the man.
Yeah,
great catch.
You're done for the year, man.
Underthrown ball. He adjusts, makes the catch, shakes the leg off, and just scores. Dante's the man.
Cool celebration too. Yeah, not one that I could replicate. I don't think. Well, there we go. That's my rendition of it. That's all you're gonna get.
I got it. So shout out to them. Defensive line was good. Not great.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think one of our worst games at defensive line position. Just getting a little bit overrunning lanes. Got gashed a little bit in the run game as we got spread out in the second half. But that's all easily correctable and coachable.
100%. It was interesting. Kentucky, and then the theme kind of carried over to Mississippi State, is getting gashed in the A gaps.
Yep.
Which you think our interior, we have the pass rushers, right? Obviously I'm a huge Josh Joseph fan.
Always.
We got James Pierce. Caleb Harrington's great things for us. But our depth, that what has separated us, I believe, outside of just having a few freak athletes and future Sunday players, is the depth on the inside.
Yep.
You're Omar Norman-Lott, Jackson Moy, Bryson Eason, Don Bailey, Amari Thomas. You
just rotate on.
David Hopkins.
Elite level at every line.
Starter, and they can't all start because we have too many of them. But we haven't seen that in between the tackles, and then A-gap run really hurt us.
And my theory is that they've gotten a little over-aggressive because they get this reputation for being so elite. They want to go make plays. across all four. And so I think we're getting a little bit out of position trying to go make plays, and it allows them to get, the counters and the stuff really work effectively because you can manipulate them into going one way and creating the holes. So I think that's what it is. But again, that's super coachable, and I trust our defensive staff to get that corrected on film. Also a good thing is I don't know that, we'll talk about this more in a second, Georgia doesn't really like to do that.
No, not
Georgia
at all.
likes to run that outside zone. They like to get off the edges a little bit more than they do at the middle. And so it'll be interesting to see if they look at that on tape and try to do that more. And if we've also corrected it and what that fight looks like.
100%. And I'm pulling up, I want to know the exact number. We held them to their lowest total offense production in at least the last few games. And it was our lowest since we played Cupcakes early in the year. So yeah, we got gashed. Yes, that last touchdown they put together, that great drive in the second half to kind of not make it a game, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. The numbers, I mean, we still dominated the football game. We're being picky because we can.
Yeah, is this, if you're going to be picking a game, it's this one because we won. And again,
exactly.
I talked about earlier, at no point where we're like, I don't know if we're going to win. It was always a matter of how much we're going to win by.
Exactly.
And so it allows you to go back and retroactively like, all right, here's the little things that need to get cleaned up because this week, the game we're about to talk about, you can't afford to have these issues.
No.
So this is the one where it kind of all matters, and we'll segue here into Georgia. As everybody knows, it's Georgia week, the biggest game of the season.
Yes.
Everything's on the line. I think our season and our playoff hopes are in the balance because if we lose, I think at 10-2, the committee's looking for reasons to not put us in. Mm-hmm. If we win, we knock them out of the playoffs.
Yes.
So it is a massive game for both teams. I am nervous for the first game really of the season because I think even on all the other ones, it was like, okay, if you lose here, you could still go win this one and it's okay. This is the first one where I got real nerves about.
And we talked about the college football playoff rankings, and that's one of the downsides I think of filming on Monday is that we don't have the updated ones to talk about. But that was what was important about being ranked 7th. And looking at the AP today, trying to see teams that did lose, the Miamis, the Georgias, the LSUs, where they dropped pretty significantly.
Yeah, it's bad.
And granted, LSU got whooped and Miami lost to a team they shouldn't have, and Georgia kind of got whooped too.
Yep.
So they dropped several spots, but I'm nervous, man, because it's like, even, we'll talk about our score predictions later, even if we get out of there and we lose by 3, we lose by 7, there's no telling how far we drop.
Yeah.
Because it is just literally a stroke of a pen.
We talked about earlier, it's a quality loss unless it's us, it feels like.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, one, I think, and we'll talk about this, I think it'll be fine for us, but if we go in there and we lose a close one, I just assume they're going to drop us. It looks like it feels like in the narrative, if you're reading the tea leaves on Twitter, X, shout out Elon, it feels like they are looking for reasons to discount the resume that we've had. And I get it. It's not been a pretty season. But at the end of the day, we've been winning. The Arkansas loss is a disaster for this scenario because everybody points to it because they're not very good. But we said earlier, they might be the best team in the country. We don't know. They were for that day, at least. It's frustrating to watch this happen and it feel like the world's against us. And I know everybody's like, Tennessee fans always think the world's against them. Well, because buddy, they are.
They are. Throw us a bone, and then we won't say that.
Give us some credit here. And I think, let's do this on the fly. Where do you think we are tomorrow night? We're filming on Monday. College football playoff rankings tomorrow night. Where do you think we come?
I want to say 6, or we should be 7, or we should be 5.
I think we come in at 5.
We should be 5.
I think it was 5. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not out to get us. Fool me once.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say 5. If we are at 6, get ready. They're going to screw us. It's going to be bad.
If Indiana jumps us, BYU, oh my gosh.
So last time, I think it was Penn State, Indiana, and us were all separated by 35 points. And in the points, if you've seen them, they're in the thousands. It matters one of the 1,700 people putting us one different area. 35 is such a crazy close number. I cannot wait to do the deep dive on this one and see what it changes because I fully expect for them to put us at 7 and just have people jump us.
Right.
And what are you going to do with Georgia after they lost? Do you drop them below us or do you drop them right in front of us?
Who knows?
What are we gonna do? I don't know. Like it's a fascinating because go from week 1 to week 2, a lot of change, but like just strap in, Tennessee fans, be prepared.
Yeah.
I know everybody's got those Tennessee Volunteer Cups from all the past years. Throw them on and get prepared. It's going to be bad.
I'm looking at it right now. Georgia, it's unfortunate the way they seed it with the buys and stuff. I don't know if we will be 5 because Ohio State was 5.
Yep.
They won. So I think, if anything, we should be.
But Miami and Georgia theoretically should fall behind us, in my opinion.
You would think, but they're still going to be top seeds. Miami will be.
Well, I'm saying in the rankings, not the bracket.
Right.
Bracket's a different scenario that I haven't even dove into. It's so much chaos. I can't even wrap my brain around all those scenarios at this point. But in the actual rankings, we should be 5. They should be behind us. But we'll see if that happens.
Strap in.
Strap in. All right. Georgia. All this matters because we have to go to Georgia and win.
Correct.
We mostly have to win. Producer Dalton's going to do some more jumping jacks, and we're going to keep going.
And we're going to get more lights.
We're going to do more lights that are not a little bit longer of a timer. That's crazy. But you know what happens? I hope the lights go out on Georgia this week. I hope we go down there and crush their playoff hopes. And to do that, I think we have to have some stuff happen in our favor. It's going into Athens. I went in 2022. It rained on me. I was sad. I was mad.
Bad game.
It was one of the worst nights of my life. I think for this one, I think it's doable. I mean, that team has not looked like the Georgias of old.
No.
They don't have the playmakers on the side. They don't have that elite running back that everybody knows from Georgia. Trevor Etienne's fine, but he's not Nick Chubb. He's not Gurley. Like, he's not those guys that you're used to them having. Carson Beck, since he started dating a Cavendish twin, has been horrific. She put out that stupid post that said, QB is a QT. Well, he's awful since then. 5 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Thanks for ruining his career. I appreciate that. That's great. Carson Beck's terrible. He's very overrated. I think that's our option, right? We have this elite defensive line. We have to go in there and make him turn that 5 and 9 into 6 and 11.
Yep.
Like, keep that ratio going. Like, let's keep it going. Put some pressure on him. Let Jamal McCoy get interceptions. Let Boone Carter get interceptions. We have to apply pressure because they don't run the ball that well. It's okay, but it's not elite. They like to run outside. That's kind of our strength. So, like, if we force them to throw the ball more and trust that Carson Beck's going to continue to make the poor decisions that he's been making, that's our recipe for success on defense.
There comes a time when we've played this whole season. I don't think we've had one game, maybe a few earlier in the year, where we've said, yeah, we play a good game.
Yep, 100%.
Hype will get up there during his presser. We'll get on here during more steam. You can say which one's more influential. And we'll be like, we won, just win, baby. But there's also this, that, and the other thing, right? We could have done better here. Nico could have thrown it. Defense, Dylan Sampson, not really. There comes a time, man, you got to play your best game.
Got to play your best game.
And there's not a world where we go in there and play our best game. If you and I can sit here and agree, knowers of ball here can sit here and say we play our best game and we lose. Those two things are mutually exclusive. They don't happen at the same time. But have we seen our best game? No. I would say no.
No, not even close.
Not even close, especially against a conference opponent.
Right.
You talk about the fumbles. You talk about missed assignments, stupid penalties, phantom penalties that maybe don't exist until that night. There comes a time, you said, put on your cup, like, let's get ready to go. If Nico's healthy, if Dylan Sampson's healthy, and we can go down there, and it's a big ask.
It is a big
Athens at night, anywhere on the road at night. We know our track record. Coach Heupel, ever since he's been here, has just redefined the narrative of what we could be.
100%.
At first, it's like, we don't have a lot of talent. Maybe we can't recruit, but we're going to score. And then it's like, okay, we're going to get some talent in. We're going to develop the players we do have, and we're going to score.
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to recruit some talent. We're going to get some defense in. Now we're going to play complementary football and going year by year here.
Yep.
And now we're going to play complementary football with elite talent. And then this season's been like, what else? What's the narrative?
We've had elite offense. Now we have elite defense. It's like, just get that next one.
The caveat to all of that, we can recruit. We've done that. We can score points. We've done that. We can win, go to marquee bowl games and win those. We've done that. You know what we haven't been consistently able to do? Go into big time games on the road and come out victorious. Haven't done it.
Not really.
Biggest one, I mean, you can call Oklahoma that this year. You can call LSU from a few years back. We haven't really
it's been the negative mark on the program. The black eye on the program so far under Heupel is we go on the road at night, it's not good.
100%. What a better time for such a time
Let's
as
do
this.
it.
Like,
let's change the narrative.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's either we're always going to be a team that's undefeated dang near all the time at home and struggles on the road, and then we finish top 25 and we go to an okay bowl game. Maybe we sniff the playoffs, or it's time to get elite. We talk about being an okay team, we're not okay. We talk about being a good team, we're not good. We talk about being a great team. Right now, we're great.
Great.
Time to be elite. If we have set these all season, is it playoff or bust? Do we want to win?
Give me a helmet. I'm ready to go.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go.
Like, fire me up. Like, let's go.
It
is time to take a step forward, and there's not a better time than this. Obviously, I hate losing to Arkansas. That sucked. That episode was hilarious. We were on the barge. You were talking about jumping off the bridge. We're a lot farther removed from that. We've won a lot of games since then, but it doesn't matter until this one matters, and this one matters.
This is the key. We talked about whole season rides on this one. Going into Athens, offense. We talked about baby steps to the offensive line. They've looked better each week. Dylan is Dylan. He's him. He's the man. Wide receivers have gotten better. Like this last week we didn't have the drops that we had. Nico was looking great until he got injured. 174 yards and 2 touchdowns in 1/2. He was cooking.
Pretty good.
Like, he's cooking.
Pretty good.
Like, if he can come back healthy, everything's right there. It's just you got to go down there and you got to execute.
Got to go.
And it's a good team, right?
Yes.
Georgia's got a lot of talent. I think on offense, they're not very good. I think they struggle more on offense. I think their defense, it's not as talented as it has been, but like that's also just the highest of bars, right? Like that they've had defenses that were historically talented the last couple of years.
National championship level, if not national champion.
They've still got elite talent on the defense. Like CJ Allen at linebacker is unbelievable. Like they've got all these guys. So it's
Malachi Stark's one of the best in the country.
Yeah, it's like KJ Bolden looks good. Yeah. Like they've got this talent. It's not like it's going to be a cakewalk to go in there. It's going to be very difficult, but they are beatable, as was just proven this past week.
Exactly, and that's the one thing I don't know if it's just expanded conferences or if it's the expanded playoff, but the whole field of college football, there's no elite, right? Like I want to play Oregon right now? No, but if you look at the conference, you look at this logjam. I got the standings in front of me. You got us, A&M, Texas, Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss. Like we're all kind of the same. Yeah. Everybody's flawed.
There's a lot of parity in college football for the first time in a long time. I think it's a result of NIL in the space and like all of these schools investing. And so rather than, Georgia taking 15 5-stars, they get 7. And like those other ones all go to different places for different opportunities. I think, and everybody says like right now, Oregon and Ohio State are like the 2 best teams in college football. Maybe, but I also think they play in the Big Ten where they don't have like the Big Ten is like 2 really like elite teams at the top. And then a next tier down, there's probably like 3 or 4, and then it's all down. I think the SEC, we don't have the 2 elite. I think we have 6 or 7 teams that are very, very good, and then the rest. So we're all kind of beating up on each other a little bit up there, and that's what's causing the parity and like the difference of like, oh, the other teams are 10-2. It's like, yeah, like if any one of these teams that we talked about in the SEC played in the Big Ten, I think they'd be viewed as Oregon or Ohio State. They'd probably have 0 or 1 loss, but like the difference is there is just, and the reality of it is people say it's SEC bias. It's not. There's more talent in the SEC. 100%. That is just a fact. If you go through the rankings, you see it.
You look at drafts, like NFL draft rates, look at who's been picked from different conferences. You look at bowl games, back when bowl games kind of mattered a little more and people wouldn't opt out. You can say it, us sitting in a chair cheering for the Vols, any other SEC fan base, like you can say like, oh yeah, you're biased. Like we're not. It's a foregone conclusion.
The cold hard truth is, the SEC is more talented.
And the people making those arguments they root for like Maryland.
Yeah, well, they're like, I'm a Purdue Boilermaker fan. I didn't even know those words exist.
Right? Like what? That's a thing?
It's the first one I ever met.
Don't make any sense.
Seeing Sasquatch. All right, let's do player predictions. Let's get into the game.
Yep.
I'm going to go first. I'm going to assume Nico's back. Caveat: we might film like if Nico gets announced he's out, we'll do like
hold on.
We'll cut in right here.
Gaston Moore.
It'll be us just from our phone, and I'll give a Gaston prediction. But I think Nico's going to play. And buddy, I feel good.
It's the time, man. It's the time. Like I'm fired up for a reason, and it's like
I think I feel good. I do feel a little pessimistic today. The optimism is not there like it is always for me.
That's fair.
265, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
But I think if he has 265 and 2 touchdowns, the magic number this year is 20, right?
That's it, apparently.
So I'm playing up to that. I think that'll help us get there. I've got him 265 and 2 touchdowns.
I'll take it. And I'm right there with you. I'm going 280 and 3.
Oof.
Sign
me up.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to run the ball. It's part of our nature. Like Dylan Sampson's going to have himself a day, which we will talk about here in a second. But Nico's clicking.
Yep.
He's there. I think our offense, as much as it has run through Dylan Sampson, he's going to have to make plays.
Yep.
I talked about when Gasson came in, we crowded the box. Like, as good as Georgia is on defense, and that's been, I guess, their strength. I mean, with their offense kind of going down, I mean, their defense is still a formidable force that we need to beat. We can't just hope to score points. No, we need to beat. That's what killed us 2 years ago with Hendon and that high-flying offense. We couldn't score.
Yeah, they came out and threw that man and just had better athletes, and
exactly.
It was bad.
So we need 2 scores. 280, 3 touchdowns to the air. Nico's the difference maker. Nico is the difference maker.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. All right, running backs, you go first.
So I would love to say that we're going to score 42 points. I don't think we do. And I think part of Nico's success is going to take some of the stress off of Dylan Sampson.
Okay.
He's a 100-yard machine, so I'm still going 110 yards, and I'm still going a touchdown.
Okay.
Right? Add those up, right? But 149. Listen, if he has 160, and that's our identity, and it's just come on.
If I can sign up right now for 160 out of Dylan, I'll do it.
We'll take it, but I don't want it to be 160 because we can't throw the ball.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. We're right in line. I've got Dylan at 105 yards and 1 touchdown.
There you go.
I think they are going to load the box, I think, and make it tough. Plus, they've just got better, more elite talent in the front 7 than most teams that we've played. So 105 and a touchdown, but I think that's more than enough to get it done based on everything else.
I'm looking to see the tempo, man, too. It's hard in opposing stadiums. That place gets loud, whether it's artificial noise or actual voices, whatever. But I'm just saying, from having stood on the field before, it is loud.
Can be.
It is hard to think.
Can be.
It is hard to operate an offensive scheme.
Yep.
But, nothing takes the wins out of a stadium more than a few touchdowns. A few long, sustained drives, a couple big old bombs.
Oof, give me the bomb. Oh, my gosh. If we roll into Athens, play 1, imagine. Oh, my gosh. Just a deep bomb for a touchdown.
Just right off the bat.
I feel like Peyton in his glory days against Alabama. Play number 1. Sign me up.
Gosh.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Yeah. That's it. All he did was score.
We score.
Wide receivers, speaking of catching touchdowns, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go. Okay. So, wide receiver's been tough, and obviously I am as cold as ice. So, Chaz, love you to death. I hope you score 15 touchdowns. I'm not picking you for the rest of the season. It's just not happening. But we have talent there. We've said it all the time. Dante's kind of shown his. Brazel has shown his potential as well, and that's who I'm going with. I think Brazel, he's kind of that big play threat.
Yep.
He we can sit him down at 5, and maybe he gets 6 or 7 catches that way. I'm saying that's more Dante's role this game. I'm going Brazel, 4 catches. I'm going 85 yards. He's going to score, and I'm hoping that it's one of those bombs. We'll see. But I think Chris Brazel, they've kind of been flopping. It's like Brazel has a great game, and then Dante, and then Brazel.
Each one.
It's Chris's turn. Come on, 17.
I love it. I want to talk about Dante. I'm not.
No, we can't. We're done.
I don't want to jinx it, but look at Dante's. But I won't pick him. Brew McCoy, old reliable, the old man. I've got him at 54 yards, 1 touchdown. I think we talked about going down there. It's hard. It's loud. You got to move the chains to sustain drives. It's super important. I think Brew's going to have some key catches on 3rd down. Feels like a little bit old school, like last 2022 Alabama. He made the catch to set everything up. But I think that's kind of the role he plays in this week. I don't think he's not taking the top off, but I think he'll have a couple of big catches. We're that was a huge changing of the game right there, where he either extended a drive or caught a big one and kept us in the game. So I've got Brew.
As our offense has begun to click more as the season progresses, I think it's largely, and I don't have numbers here, I wish I did for it, it's largely our success on 3rd down, on 3rd and medium. Are we good? Producer good? It's largely our success on 3rd and medium. I mean, that's really the extent of it, is run the ball for 1 yard, throw a little screen pass for 2 yards. It's 3rd and 7. Do we go?
Yep.
Can we go get
100%.
it? And we've done that at a higher clip than we did in the beginning of the year.
Very true.
If it's 3rd and Brew, it's 3rd and Brew.
Love it.
I'll take it.
I'm here for it. All right, so defense. This is a big one. Defense, special teams. I'm going to go, and I always feel reactionary when I do it the week after they do it, but I think he rides the wave. I got Buchar with an interception.
Another one.
I think he just keeps it going. He's got the hot hand. He's getting more confident. Things are slowing down a little bit for him. getting comfortable. Boo Carter, interception.
I love it. I love it. And it's taken me a while.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet, but man, if I don't hop on the Will Brooks train, nobody else will. And we're all about it. Okay.
Let's go.
So I hope we're both right.
I hope it.
But I got Will Brooks at 6 tackles.
Okay.
And I got a pick. It is big game Willie, son.
That's
Come on.
it. Let's go.
Come on. I mean, some of the stuff, it's like, oh, is that right place, right time? No, I mean, the dude makes plays. He's in the position.
Great.
He's a great story. He will continue to be for as long. I think he's got another year or two. I hope he stays. We'll see. But like I said, big time players, big time plays, big time games. Will, you're already a feel-good story. If Will Brooks does not play another snap for Tennessee, people are going to still be wearing 35 jerseys and still be talking like, what a great story. But you could go down as a Tennessee legend, too.
A legend.
And by picking off Carson Beck for his 4th pick of the game and sealing the game for the Tennessee Vols.
Sign me up.
We're going to Atlanta.
Big game Willie. Let's do it.
Come on.
Let's do it.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I got. I'll start with the score prediction. If you do the math, I predicted 4 touchdowns because Dylan Simpson is a rushing touchdown. So that's 28 points. I think Max Gilbert keeps his hot streak going. I'm getting 31 points for the Vols.
Whew, okay.
31 points for the Vols. Listen, teams have done it against Georgia.
Yep,
we would not be the first.
That's true.
This isn't 2022 where they held opponents to like 3 yards a game.
Fair.
Right? They're beatable. They're the most beatable they've been in a...
I don't disagree. Go ahead.
31 points. 20 still that number. They don't get it. 31-17.
Go off, King.
Win.
Let's go.
31-17. Vols win. I'm going to be there. Oh my gosh. I'm hyped up, man. It's Monday. It's a Monday, Watkins.
I should have let you go second. I will not be there. I'm not going to Athens again. Maybe ever. The only Athens I'm going to is Athens, Tennessee. Where my mom and dad live. Shout out, Mom. I think it's closer than that. I'm nervous here. I'm not the optimist today. I said that. Georgia doesn't give me good feels. I've got it at 24-17.
Okay.
Tennessee win. Obviously.
That's all right.
I mean, it's still a win. Yeah. I'm not going to come out here and predict we're going to lose.
Can't do it.
But I think it's a realistic score. I took a long, hard look in the mirror after I looked at my 63-10 prediction or whatever last week, and it was horrific. And I was like, I got to give the fans something a little more accurate.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get carried away this week. I'm going to actually go real, look at the data, look at the numbers. I think that's a 23-17 or 24-17, 24-17. Yeah. I think that's what it's going to be. I've got 3 touchdowns and a field goal from Max Gilbert. Keep the leg hot. We'll see what happens, but I feel good about it, as good as I can on a Monday before. If you see me again, like always,
it's going to be 60-10.
Yeah, by game day, I'll be like, we're going to murder them. They're eating the dogs. Yeah, it's over. They're eating the dog. They're eating the dogs. So, like, we'll see what happens, but, like, I think it's going to be a blowout. We'll see what happens, but right now, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. By game day, I will. Excited for everybody going to Athens. I think you'll have a ton of fun. Mm-hmm. It was a great pregame up until the game in 2022. I will never be there again, but I'm excited to watch it. Spend some time with the family, get to watch one on the couch, which is always fun.
Great.
So if you're going to Athens, be careful. Drive safe. They don't do that, but you guys should.
Oh.
And then for the rest of us hanging out here in Knoxville, enjoy the game. We only get so many of these, and they're winding down this year. I'm already sad thinking about football being over. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we play all the way through January. But just enjoy these times. It's good times.
Exactly.
It's fine out amount of ball.
And listen, let's have it. We've worked a lot as a program, as a coaching staff, as players to get to a place where games like this matter at this 100%. Time of the year. So let's embrace it.
Embrace it. Enjoy it. As for us, we will see you again next week. And again, this is Wednesday.
Yep.
I know it's changed. You don't love change. I don't love change, but we think this is better for you guys. You get more of us.
Come on.
We want it. So we will see you guys next week, next Wednesday at our new time. So see you guys next week. As always, have fun.
Good balls.